guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with a snippet roll that I have created, and I thought let's dress up a snippet roll. So we've done this before, I know, but yep, I thought this would be quite a fun one to do. I made this snippet roll yesterday, I think it was, and it's quite a long one. I made it using my curator's collection, the botanical ones. That's what these florals in the frames are. And then I've mixed it with some of my little butterfly film strips and things like that. Got some of my labels, I've got some of my stamped labels, and yeah, I thought let's just come along and kind of dress this up and kind of, you know, expand on it really. So I'm going to turn it round, I think, to start, because some of my pieces are sideways on. Now I've got some lace, you know, pieces. I've got like some labels. I've got some of my words, which these are from the black and brown words. These are obviously the brown ones, which I thought would be quite nice to use on here. I've got some of this lace trim stuff. I've got some bling. I also have got my little kind of acrylic flowers and things like that. So, you know, I've also got my butterflies actually, which I'm now thinking I probably could have done with printing the smaller ones, but never mind. But yeah, we're just going to kind of like get on and you know, see what we can kind of come up with and achieve with this. So let's start, I think, by just putting some lace trim and things like that around. So I've got this really pretty kind of dusty pink, which I think would work really nice with the colours on this snippet roll. So yeah, let's just kind of use some of this in a few places. So whoops. Oh my goodness. As I'm touching this, it's literally kind of like slipping out of my hand. So yeah, I'm thinking kind of put this on in a couple of places. Now, do we want this coming out behind or coming out in front? So maybe coming out behind, I think. Also got kind of some crochet lace, but yeah, maybe use that, maybe not, we'll see. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of glue this down. Now I'm just going to use my hot glue straight onto the lace, I think, first of all. And then just move the snippet roll onto there. Like that. Okay. So like that. Okie dokie. Now I've got this little stamped word love, so we could have that on there. That's quite pretty. I mean, these are quite you know, antique-y kind of looking colours, quite subtle sort of colours, which is really pretty, isn't it? And then we could have maybe one of the little acrylic flowers. Oh, excuse me. No, I think I've put double-sided tape on here, which, you know, I mean, double-sided tape is brilliant, but I have to say I did this years ago. You know, this was just from my like scraps bin. So what I will probably do is actually hot glue this as well, just to make sure it's really stuck down, because also it's going to be sticking over the top of that lace. So just to kind of ensure that it's properly stuck down. So like that. Okay, and then, yeah, maybe kind of like a little resin flower there. Not resin, acrylic flower there. Maybe to the side. Okay. Like that. Okay, so that looks pretty, doesn't it? Okie dokie. And right, let's just see, because I've got some of my little bows as well. So I'm just going to see whether we might want to have a little bow on here at all. I mean, I know that's quite fancy then, but I mean, that is pretty, isn't it? So yeah, maybe kind of on that side, or do we want it on this side actually? Oh, I don't know now. Maybe it kind of balances it out to have it on the other side. So yeah, pop it on the other side, I think. Like that. Okay. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So, section number 1, blinged up, and yeah, it's ready for using. So it looks really pretty, doesn't it? So let's take this portion now. So, you know, I mean, what you could do is kind of tear your snippet roll, and you may find it's easier to kind of, you know, decorate then. But I'm just going to kind of persevere with it in a roll form at the moment, I think, while we get started. So We could have kind of the lace on there. That's really pretty, isn't it? So again, just going to kind of add the glue direct to the lace, I think. And I just find it easy to just use the hot glue for things like this. So again, just kind of like put that like that, but maybe ruffle it up a bit like that, okay? So, yeah. Okie dokie, so that looks really pretty. Okay. And then again, just see if I want one of those acrylic flowers. I just love those. Oops. And they just really just make it look very pretty, don't they? And kind of very delicate. So just going to see if we want to have one of these brown words. Which word would we like? Oh, I don't know now. Let's have amazing. I'm cutting these here. I could have torn them. You know, that's why these have got quite a big space in between, is so that if you wanted to tear around the word, you've got plenty of room to do that. I'm thinking let's just tear this down, cut this down. But yeah, I might wish that I'd torn it, in which case I'll take a different word and we'll tear it. But or maybe I don't even want a word. Yeah, maybe the word is not what we want in there. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I don't mind it down there, actually. I'm just going to just take a bit of this bling, just in case we want to have some of this. So let's just take that down there. Okay. Just okay, like that. Oh, what about like this? Okay, right, let me just put some bling on here then. Okay. Oops. Like that. Okay, and then the word amazing, I think, next to it. I don't want it to look like everything's in a line. That's the only thing that's kind of putting me off doing that. Is, you know, do I look like everything's lined up then? I'm not sure. Definitely love that flower there. Perhaps it's better without the word. Okay. So, like that. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, so just move this along slightly more. So now we've got this section. Now I'm kind of working, you know, with this in terms of as if they're individual clusters, really. That's just something that I actually find quite helpful to do is, you know, I think my original snippet rolls, they tended to be more, you know, joined up, like everything was completely running into the next thing. I think probably these days I'm more inclined to make them sort of almost like separate clusters, so there's an obvious space where you would tear them down. Yeah, I mean, I just think that kind of makes them easier to use when you come to use them. But I think either way, you know, either way works fine. So, but this one I would definitely say has got, you know, a definite kind of line dividing up where the clusters kind of need to go. So let's just put this one here. Now let's just see if we want that word on there. So I'm just going to ink around the edges like that. Okay, so that looks quite pretty. I'm in complete overkill, obviously, again using that hot glue for that, but it's fine. I mean, I'm just pulling this pink lace in just because, you know, this was kind of what was laying around on the desk, and I thought, well, actually, you know, one of the many things laying around on the desk, but actually, doesn't it go really nicely with these bits and pieces? So, you know, that's why I'm just kind of sticking with the pink, really, because it's like, oh, actually, that just happens to go brilliantly with these. So maybe I will put that to the side slightly. So just put that glue straight to the lace like we have done on those other ones. Okie dokie. So, yeah. Like that. Okay. Yeah, and then we're going to have the butterfly there. Okay. Like that. Oh, how pretty is that? And then I'm thinking maybe just one of those little flowers, which I love using these. So just see whether I've got one, you know, colour-wise that would go. So I've got this little one here. Maybe would go okay. Now, I have had these in my shop. And when I say my shop, I mean in my website, to be honest. I don't know whether they're on there now. You know, they may or they may not be. That's very pretty though there, isn't it? So yeah, let's just kind of put some glue down here and then pop that down. Oops. Okay. Just going to put a little bit of glue under there because I feel like it needs a bit of a help gluing that down. Right, okay. Got a little pearly centre here, so yeah, should we have the pearly centre on there? Oh dear, hold on. Okay, like that. Oh, sorry, I'm just literally, the glue is kind of sticking on things and then it's like, you know, knocking it onto the floor. So how pretty does that look? So I'm just going to put it up so as you can see them really nice and close. I mean, they look gorgeous, don't they, so far? So now we're on to kind of this middle section. So again, going to turn it round now. I mean, obviously we have got this here that's beside actually. So perhaps we should do something to sort of bring that in as well. So I've just got this like lace trim stuff. Just see whether we want to have kind of maybe some of that there. It would be better without that header piece. Or maybe it's okay. Yeah, let's cut that piece, whoops, piece off. Like that. Okay. Just pop that down there. Oh, how pretty is that? Now, do we want to have one of those little acrylic flowers on here as well? Let's just see. We haven't got one of those on this little section, have we? Because I'm thinking kind of, you know, this section maybe kind of would go right the way along, kind of there. You know, as a bit of a bigger kind of section than we've had with the other pieces. Yeah, we put that there. Okay, right, let's turn this round. So this section now, here. Whoops. Let's just take those threads off. Sorry about this. It's like stuck on me now. So yeah, got this crochet lace. So let's just see if we want to have that. I mean, obviously I have got more of that pink, but just thought, well, actually maybe we want something a bit more contrasty on this section. So yeah, let's just stick this down. So, oops, just going to run some hot glue along that side. Okay. Right. Oh, let's have a look. Okay. Just got a sort of lavendery bow. I I mean, the bows are very pretty, aren't they, on these types of things? So they just work really well. And these are just those, you know, hand-stitched bows that we've done. So, yeah, we could have that one there. Let's just pop that down. Oops. Like that. Okay, that looks very pretty. And yeah, do we want some bling on here? Might want one of those words. I'll just bring those words back in. We have notes. Should we have notes? Oh, let's tear it this time. So yeah, you know, to tear them, I think you do need the bit of space, don't you, between the words, because you know, you need room to be able to get in. Okay, like that. Right, let's just put that up. Oh dear, hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm just fingers and thumbs, literally fingers and thumbs. Dropping things, you know, as I touch them, they're like dropping. So yeah, I love how that looks. That's so pretty, isn't it? And then I think, let's just have a look. Oh, I haven't even got this bit of building. I know, that's just weird, isn't it? Yeah, that's just weird. It was just because it happened to be laying there that I thought, oh, should we try that? Right, just got some labels. So let's just see if we want any of the labels here. I mean, this one is kind of bigger, but, you know, bigger than, you know, perhaps I need, but we could, you know, put it like that. And then that just, yeah, balances it out a bit more, doesn't it? So instead of just looking like a giant, great big label, it's kind of got the word over the top, which just brings it slightly down in size. So pop that like that. Put the word notes on the top. Like that. Ooh. Like that. That's very pretty. Okay, let's put these all back in the thing because I'm trying to be a bit tidier. I know, I mean, to be honest, if you looked around my desk, you would not think I'm achieving that. You'd think, well, she's failing miserably if that's her goal. But yeah, believe it or not, I'm kind of trying to be a bit tidier. So maybe just have one of those little plastic kind of flowers there. Or acrylic, or, yeah. It's very cute, doesn't it? So, again, just bring that up to kind of show you how gorgeous does that look. Okay, so the next one also is, you know, another sideways on. So, yep, let's bring that down. Now, this has got one of those lovely stamped labels there. So, let's have a word on there. Should we have memories? Or journal? Let's just have journal. And I'm just going to cut this one. I don't know why sometimes I think, you know, cut is, you know, the style I need, and sometimes it's like, oh no, I need a torn one. But yeah, just you get a feel for it, don't you? And kind of think, oh, that one needs a torn one. Oh, that one needs a cut one. So, okay. Yeah, so I hope everybody's having a nice day. I hope you're all doing some crafting, having a nice time. You know, do share below what you're working on. I know I say this so many times, but, you know, honestly, it is really helpful, I think, you know, for if you're just kind of having a bit of a, you know, what's the word? Lost your mojo kind of time to actually kind of see what other people are working on. It really can kind of spur you on, and you think, oh, that, you know, that sounds great. That I might make one of those myself. So, yeah, do share what you're working on. Right, just having a look, and I know this is weird because that's like lilac, and you're probably thinking, well, why is she pulled lilac in? But just wondering if we could have lilac somewhere. I know that is kind of off at a tangent because we haven't really got anything else. Well, we haven't got anything else lilac on this particular cluster, but I mean, actually, sometimes I think, you know, we can be a bit too safe, and going down a kind of mix it up route is, you know, is sometimes what's needed, isn't it? So I'm just going to glue this down here. Okay. That. Okay. Like that. And then yeah, like that. That's very pretty. And then do we want an acrylic flower on there as well? Or we could even see if we could have 2 of these. This may be too much. It might just swamp it anyway. Plus this is, again, another colour that we'd be adding. So it might just look really... Oh my goodness, she's adding all sorts of colours on there. But, you know, it's always worth trying. Because sometimes, you know, the things you least expect actually look really great. I mean, so far, not loving it. Yeah, so far thinking... thinking it does just look awful, but you know, worth seeing, isn't it? So yeah. Oh gosh, that just looks really weird, doesn't it? No, looked a bit like a sort of disco going on there for some reason, which just, no, not the look I'm going for. The disco journal cluster. Oh, excuse me. Maybe a bit of lace or something there. Or maybe we should kind of like staple or something, a little bit of lace here. So that might look quite pretty, mightn't it? So yeah, let's just take my little stapler and just staple, whoops, that one. So I've just tried to kind of like crease it up a bit so it's not like a flat piece of lace, but it's more sort of ruffled. That one, oops. Okay, and then, yeah, this one here, oops. Oh my goodness, how pretty does that look? Love that. So just bring it up so as you can see. I mean, doesn't that ruffling just really kind of like change the look of that cluster? Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So I think the rest are all this way round now. So yeah, let's turn it back round. And we'll just kind of go in and do the others. So have a look and see what I've got left. So I've got these. Oh, they are very nice under there, aren't they? Now, do we want just one? Let me just see what it would look like with just one hanging out. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I felt like 2 was a bit much, but I then put it as 1, and then I thought, oh, actually 1 is not really enough. So yeah, perhaps we should have the 2. Okay. Like that. Right, love how that looks. Okay, just take that up. So, oops, put in a lot of blue on my desk now. I mean, luckily it does all just come off, but it just makes it a bit messy while we're here. So, right, loving that. Now I've already put a word on here. I've got the word beauty. So that looks very pretty, doesn't it? And then see. I mean, we could even maybe have a bit of the pink as well. I don't know whether that really looks very good because obviously there's not really anything pink on here. So it's maybe like, oh, why have you added pink on there? There's no pink going on that cluster. But, you know, again, sometimes, like I say, it's the things you least expect that actually look the best, isn't it? I mean, again, I'm not saying this is an example of that, but just occasionally I'm kind of, you know, I do think that's the case. Let me just have a look and see, because I had some peachy orangey kind of flowers, which would obviously, you know, be better match with the oh, I was going to say with the flowers, but it looked very bright then, didn't it? So maybe not. I'm sorry if you could hear my dog there, just kind of like, I don't know whether that's a snoring sound she does, but, you know, it's definitely when she's like kind of asleep and then being disturbed slightly. She's like, oh no, go away. I mean, I can't blame her. Who likes being disturbed when they're asleep after all? You know, nobody likes that, do they? Oh, I don't know about this. I mean, I kind of think, well, it looks really boring without, doesn't it? But, you know, like, then will I ever want to use it if it's got the pink on there? You know, will I then just feel like, oh, well, it doesn't really match anything I'm putting it on? I've got these little flower trims. So we could have these. Oh, they're quite pretty, aren't they? Let me just take one of these. Okay. Right, let me just cut this little edge off. Okay. Where do we like the look of this best? Because I really like this brown here. So from that point of view, I kind of think, oh, I want to keep the brown showing. But then it doesn't really look as good anywhere else. It does look best down there, doesn't it? So I think it will have to go over there, even though I think, you know, I did like the brown showing. Well, the brown still does show actually to the side. So yeah, it's not so bad as I thought. Okay, pop that down. Right, let's just see again whether I maybe want one of those little acrylic flowers maybe in the centre of this flower. Oh no, that's awful. Awful, awful. Up there, because I mean, oddly enough, when I put it over there, I feel like it looks too deliberate and like I'm trying to balance it out, which actually, instead of balancing it out, makes it just look really kind of staged and not good at all. So yeah, I think it looks better like that. So right, let's move it along. Okay, we've got this little section. So again, I mean, to me, this feels like this is a complete section, probably torn down kind of about there to there. So this definitely will hopefully kind of pick up that pink just fine. So I might even staple the pink on this one. So just then ruffle that up a bit. Okay, oh my goodness. I can just hear things dropping beside me, so clearly this snippet roll is kind of like knocking things on the floor beside me. So let's just staple this. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then maybe take it off here. So yeah. Well, now I'm dropping my hot glue gun. I'm so sorry about all the noise and things. But maybe kind of even staple this bit here, or glue that bit. Maybe glue that bit. So yeah, let me just, sorry for knocking the camera holder. Okay, let's just get the hot glue gun. So yeah, let's just add some hot glue to this. And then just okay. Like that. Okie dokie. That looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then should we just maybe put in a little flower again? Or maybe the flower in the centre of the butterfly might look quite pretty. Or I'm actually thinking, I don't know whether this will look good or not, but let's give this a try. I'm thinking kind of layer those two butterflies up. So I know they're very different shapes, so I don't know, like I say, whether this will actually work or not, but let's just give it a try. You don't know unless you try things, do you? So yeah, always worth a try. got my little fan heater going in here. So, and I'm just going to put this out there. I do film ahead. So again, if you're watching and thinking, well, why has she got a fan heater on? It's like boiling. It's not boiling today. It's not boiling while I'm filming. So yeah, I do kind of need my fan heater. I mean, I have got 2 jumpers on, but yeah. I'm actually thinking perhaps tear that green butterfly off and go with the pink. What do you think? Just feel like the pink would perhaps look better. So yeah, I'm going to tear this one off. So hopefully I'm going to cover up that mess that I've now made with that pink butterfly. Obviously you can see I've kind of torn into the paper quite a bit, but yeah, hopefully this one's going to cover it up. Yeah, okay. Perhaps even have it that way on. Okay. Oops. Like that. Okay, so that looks pretty, doesn't it? Now, let's just see. Oh dear, that's quite bright on there, isn't it? I thought it might look good, but probably a bit rubbish. Oh dear, what do we think? Let me just try it at this end. I quite like it there. So I'm kind of picturing, you know, if that was torn off kind of here, what would that look like? Or unless they're torn off in smaller, much smaller clusters. Should we try that? Yeah, let's do that. So just going to put this down here. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's put this over there. Okay, and then let's just see. Don't know whether we're kind of like making that too hemmed in with that, but let's give it a try. So just glue this down. Okay, looks pretty. So just bring this up and quickly show you kind of closer up as well. Got those potentially 2 or just 1, depending on, you know, I guess what you're putting. Oops, what you're putting that on. You could use it either as 2 or 1. But very pretty, isn't it? And then this one here, let's just quickly take this one. Yeah, looks pretty with the pink. So I'm just going to cut this in half. All right. So I'll just staple this along here. Loving it stapled on. Very pretty. Oops. Well, let's just leave that, I think, like that, and then just see whether don't know about that. Okay, let's just have a quick look here, see what I've got in the pile of flowers. I've got this one, it's quite white, but it might look good actually. You know, sometimes it's the ones you least expect, isn't it? I must have said that about 3 times this video. I'm so sorry. Just waffling and rambling and repeating myself. So, oh, that looks lovely. Absolutely lovely. So I'm just going to staple that on. I do really like a staple, I must say. And I know they're not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody likes the staples, but I just think they look gorgeous. Like really, really pretty. You know, I think they're a different look, aren't they? Which is fun anyway. But, you know, I do actually really like them as well. So, yeah. You know, not only kind of like a bit different, but I think they're really lovely. So, right, we've got that. Now, let me just see whether we want to just finish that off then with a pearly centre. So, I'm just having a look to see if my pearly centres are up here on my, my pile of stuff that's to the side of my desk. Hold on. Okay. Now, we've got these pink ones. I don't know whether these are faded or whether they were two different shades of pink, but anyway, got this paler one, so I think that would look good. Let's just try that there. Oh yeah, how pretty does that look? So just pop that down in the middle, like that. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous and yummy does that look? And then again, maybe even just finish that off with the bow. I mean, I'm not saying it needs one, but maybe. Oh, maybe that's too much. Yeah, maybe I'm kind of like overdoing it now. Well, I'm just going to leave that there for the minute. So this is my completed snippet roll now that we've kind of blinged it up and, you know, decorated it up. And obviously some are, you know, horizontal, some are vertical pieces. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tear this end off just to kind of show you. Now it's more like a cluster, so you know that's where we're left there. And of course when I come to use this I will probably tear that white bit off, so I'll just quickly do that now to just kind of demonstrate, just so we don't have the, you know, the white kind of core showing on there. So just tear that down. That looks better. Oops. Just get rid of those weird shapes where like we've got mouse, you know, mice bites there. Okay, that looks better like that. So just put that to one side. Okay, and then just get rid of these bits. Okay, so this is our completed little snippet, and all we'll do is just kind of ink over this now, or ink around the edges. You know, just finish that bit off. And then I might just see, have I got any kind of mass-made items or anything that we can put this on, just to sort of show you the finished thing. This is where I find I don't really have nothing quite right. And I've got this. So, I mean, I'm not even saying that this would be the best, you know, item. This is just, you know, what happened to be laying around at the side. But to be honest, that does look actually really pretty on there, doesn't it? You know, that's just like the first thing I grabbed. But straight away we could tie it in with a bit of lace at the top. Put that there. I can obviously tear the edge down so that's a bit smaller. So just come in here like that. So, you know, you have got the scope of obviously kind of like, you know, altering them. You don't have to kind of go with them the sizes that they kind of are. So like that. Oh my goodness, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then we've got this bit of lace, which, you know, we could have, yeah, however, whichever way round kind of we think looks best. And then maybe have the bow on the lace or something. Maybe that would look quite nice. And then I'm just thinking, could we have a butterfly as well? I can't see one that really is, you know, going to be quite the right colour, but and then we've got this. I don't know. Should we give it a try? Always worth a try. So, yeah. Okay. Like that. Oh, I so need to do some more coffee dyeing. I don't know why, but it just kind of entered my head and I thought, oh, I so need to do some coffee dyeing. Oh. But definitely for me, I like to do that really in the summer. So what happens is I get to this kind of time of year, this, you know, for me, I'm filming this in February, and then I just stop using it and kind of try and hoard what I've got, because I obviously am down to my last few sheets. And that's where I am at the moment. I'm thinking, oh gosh, you know, will I get through until the summer, you know, without kind of using what I've got left. I mean, that's not really the right colour butterfly, if I'm truthful. I've got the neutrals, and unfortunately I haven't got any printed out, which is such a shame. I've got these labels. Let's just try these. Or I might prefer one of my actual labels from my label sets, you know, in my shop. This pocket is done from the Victorian Florals, set 2, I think, or it could be set 1. Not 100% sure. I think I've got 3 different Victorian floral sets, but it's one of the either 1 or 2. But yeah, it's really pretty paper, isn't it? And it's a bit like the kind of damask papers, in that I find it's so versatile, and honestly, it kind of looks good every time you use it. You know, it's like one of them that every time you use it, it's like, oh, that looks brilliant. It matches, you know, matches so many different things. So yeah, one of my favourite papers, to be honest. And I haven't actually used it for a really long time, because I went through a phase where I used it all the time, and I thought, oh gosh, how boring am I? But it was just one of those kind of things that I just really loved using. So I just kept on, you know, then using it. So I then tried to refrain from using it. But yeah, just happened to have it in my little tray beside my desk. So I thought, well, actually, let's just give that a try. And to be honest, it does look really, really good with that cluster. And just goes to show, doesn't it? Because, you know, that was kind of just what was laying around there. I didn't think about it, didn't, you know, focus too much at all. I've just literally pulled it in. And it was like the first thing I grabbed, but straight away it looked good on there. And that's just one of my little stamped labels. And again, these stamp sets, I have had these in my shop, and again, I'm saying on my website, I don't know whether I would have them on there now. But yeah, they will have been on there at some point. And I mean, I'm just kind of trial and error, really, to kind of see, you know, how things go. I don't know really whether I'm going to be able to kind of like run a shop, if you see what I mean, with permanent stock of physical items, you know, because obviously that's quite a big job, posting it all out and things like that. So it's in my mind that I'm going to be planning to do this year, but whether or not I actually do get a chance to, or whether it's actually just going to turn out to not be feasible, I'm not sure. But you know, I'd like to think that I would be able to do that, but in reality, probably not that likely, unfortunately. Because yeah, I'd really like to, you know, have some physical stuff, you know, be able to kind of like source things and share them with you as I, you know, as I kind of find things and think, oh, you know, everyone's going to love that. I'd really love to be able to then, you know, share those items and kind of put them on, you know, in my shop, really. You know, that would be really fun to do. And I know that, you know, when I use things, lots of ladies do say, oh, what's that you're using? So it would be really nice to be able to kind of say, oh, I'm using this, and hey, it's in my shop. So yeah, I'd like to be able to do it. It's just kind of one of those, can I actually, you know, physically do it? So yeah, I'd like to think I could, but reality is maybe not. Right. Oh my goodness, I'm so fingers and thumbs. I'm so sorry. Just having one of those clumsy days, unfortunately. So yeah, I think I'm just going to finish it off with that bit of bling. And it's, well, actually maybe I won't, only because I feel like it clashes a bit with the bow, strangely enough. Yeah, maybe it's a bit much with that bow as well. So yeah, maybe I will leave it like that. Now I'm just going to quickly ink just here around the edge. Doesn't really need it, but you know, just to pop it there. So there we go. And that's it. So that is, you know, our mass made pocket with our, you know, embellished cluster. So the cluster taken from the embellished snippet roll. So that's the snippet roll that we've embellished, and that's just literally a portion torn off of there and then, you know, operating now like a cluster. So yeah, I really hope that you love it. I hope you feel inspired. Maybe get out your clusters and things, maybe kind of like, you know, embellish them up, decorate them up, bling them up, and then just decorate some of your mass-made items, and then they're just ready to go in your journals, you know, and looking really super pretty. So yeah, I hope that you feel inspired, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.